Meech phones were tapped, and in his phone, he made a call to Puff, telling him to call Wolf and straighten Wolf out. Like, yo, call Wolf. Wolf's mother let me hear something that the the drug enforcement, the prosecutor from Atlanta, that Puff told Meech, go ahead and do what you got to do. When him and Wolf and them was beefing outside, I heard Wolf say out of his mouth, I'ma show you them niggas ain't that.
The feds get up on me. I turn informant. They give me 50 for the first dude I turn in. I'm so in love with this dude trying to get Big Meech home so I could be Big Meech's bitch.
Y'all, this is crazy. Word on the street is Big Meech might have been Diddy's inside man all along. And 50 Cent, he's been getting played this whole time. I'm talking about straight up scams, snitching, and some wild industry drama that's got everybody shook. And now Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, is spilling the kind of secrets that could take this whole thing to a new level. If you thought the BMF story was wild before, you ain't ready for this. Let's get into it.
I saw my brother's picture on the big screen.
For months now, 50 Cent has been going in on Big Meech, calling him out as a snitch. And listen, these accusations didn't just pop out of nowhere. Big Meech was sentenced to 30 years, right? But after serving 18, he got an early release. And y'all know that started all kinds of whispers. People been saying for years that Meech threw folks under the bus to cut his time. And when he walked free earlier than expected, that just added even more fuel to the fire.
He was convicted of running a huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison,
50 ain't let up either. He's been shading Meech heavy, and when you think about it, maybe he had good reason. The street's been speculating, but now it's looking like those rumors might actually be true. Let's talk about that homecoming concert that got shut down. It was supposed to be this huge celebration, right? Meech coming home, everybody turning up, but boom, it gets canceled out of nowhere. And word on the block is that 50 Cent might have pulled some strings behind the scenes to make sure it didn't happen.
After 50 put that out there was some back and forth. Meech responded with his own video. But then, leading up to the concert, I believe it was the same day of the concert, it was announced that it was canceled.
Why? Because if Meech really was out here snitching, 50 wasn't about to let him get that big welcome home moment. And how did 50 even get this info? Allegedly, through Tammy Cowan, a woman Big Meech was real close with back in the day. Not only that, but Meech supposedly sold her the rights to his life story, which is how 50 even got involved with the BMF TV series. And let's not forget, 50 put Meech's son, Lil Meech, right in the show as one of the main cast members. But wait, y'all, it gets deeper. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, just came out with even more tea, and it's making this whole situation even messier. According to Gene, Big Meech wasn't just out here snitching for his own benefit, he was allegedly doing it on Diddy's orders. Meech was supposedly helping Diddy take out his competition by snitching and letting federal agents catch his rivals slipping. And now, it's all coming full circle because Diddy's currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, waiting for his federal trial set for May. The irony? Wild. And you know 50 Cent and Diddy haven't been cool for a minute now. 50's been clowning Diddy for years, always throwing shade, always making jokes about him being on the DL. And let's not forget that time 50 said he almost knocked Diddy out when Puff tried to take him shopping.
To kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the this nigga just say?
So finding out Big Meech was allegedly working for Diddy this whole time, yeah, that's just more reason for 50 to go even harder. This ain't just about snitching anymore, this is personal.
I wasn't gonna address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me.
When 50 Cent first linked up with Big Meech after his release, everybody thought this partnership was about to shake the table. And let's not forget, 50 was already working on that Diddy documentary. So naturally, folks assumed Meech was going to spill all the tea on Puff and give us those inside details. But now, with this whole beef popping off between Meech and 50, it's looking like Diddy had the upper hand this whole time. And the crazy part? Gene Deal is out here exposing one of the darkest things Diddy allegedly had Big Meech involved in, and it's connected to the tragic and untimely passing of Anthony Wolf Jones. If you don't know about Wolf, oh baby, you're about to find out just how deep this story really goes. To really understand the weight of this situation, you gotta know who Wolf was. He wasn't just some bodyguard. This man was Diddy's childhood best friend, and one of the main people who helped Puff build his empire. We're talking about someone who was there from day one, the muscle behind Bad Boy Records, and one of the first investors in the label. Wolf grew up in the Bronx, and if you know anything about that era, you know life wasn't easy. But Wolf made a name for himself as someone you did not want to cross. By the early 90s, he and Diddy linked up and their bond was tight. So tight that when Puff was getting Bad Boy off the ground, Wolf dropped a $300,000 investment to help make it happen. That's not chump change, that's family level commitment.
My man died the day after my birthday. Turns around, tell Wolf, I'ma give you your $300,000. Wolf is the one who brought me back into Bad Boy.
But Wolf wasn't just about the money, he was about loyalty. He put his life on the line for Diddy, protecting him through some of the most dangerous moments in hip-hop history. We're talking about shootouts, industry beef, and all the wildness that came with being one of the biggest players in the game. Now, here's where things get real dark. Wolf's life came to a tragic end in 2003 when he was gunned down outside a club in Atlanta. It all came to a head outside Club Chaos in Atlanta. The tension between Wolf and BMF had been building for weeks, and it finally boiled over. And of course, a woman was involved. Because when is it not about a woman, right? Wolf pulled up with his right-hand man, Lamont Rez Gertie, and they crossed paths with Big Meech and some BMF members. Things got heated real quick. What started as a verbal argument turned into a full-blown shootout. At first, Wolf and Rez were holding their own. They weren't backing down. But then the unthinkable happened. One of Wolf's old friends, who had recently joined BMF, switched sides mid-fight. That betrayal was the final nail in the coffin.
And Wolf ended up dying that night, getting killed by the dude that he introduced to BMF.
Shots were fired, and when the dust settled, Wolf and Rez were both down on the spot. Just like that, 2 lives were lost, and the questions started piling up. According to Gene Deal, Diddy was allegedly the one pulling the strings behind Wolf's death, and Big Meech was somehow tied up in the situation. See, Wolf was getting tired of the way Diddy was moving. He felt like he wasn't getting the respect or the money he deserved, and considering he put up a $300,000 investment to help launch Bad Boy Records, I don't blame him. Wolf wanted out. He straight up asked Diddy to pay him back his $300,000 so he could move on and do his own thing. But what did Puff do? He stalled. He kept coming up with excuses and dragging his feet, and you know that only made things worse.
Puff was putting a battery in Wolf back, talking about, I don't need you no more. When I get this, do this Universal deal, I'm gonna give you $300,000 and leave you the f alone. Wolf said, you could never leave me alone. You understand? He said, but them guys ain't tough like you think they are.
And it didn't stop there. Wolf started noticing a pattern. Diddy had a history of cutting ties with people once they were no longer useful to him. If you weren't making him money or boosting his image, you were out. And Wolf, he saw the writing on the wall. According to Big Meech, Diddy wasn't just trying to cut Wolf off, he was trying to set him up. Word is, Puff went to Meech and started stirring up beef between Wolf and the Black Mafia family, BMF, knowing it would lead to some real trouble. Diddy allegedly told Meech that he didn't need Wolf anymore, basically painting him as dead weight. And you know how fast word travels in these circles. It got back to Wolf, and you already know that added gasoline to the fire. After Wolf's death, people started whispering about something that could flip Diddy's whole world upside down. The rumor that Wolf might have been the real father of Justin Combs, Diddy's firstborn son. Now let's be real, the resemblance is kinda crazy. Fans have been pointing out the similarities for years, but Meech's recent comments have reignited those rumors. And while there's no hard evidence to confirm it, the timeline and connections definitely make you raise an eyebrow. I mean, think about it. If this turned out to be true, it would be one of the ultimate betrayals. Diddy allegedly set Wolf up and then raised his son as his own? You can't even write this kind of drama. It's giving soap opera energy, and I'm here for it. But listen, Wolf wasn't the only one who got played by Diddy. Remember what happened to Shine after that infamous nightclub shooting in 1999? Puff was quick to save his own skin and left Shine to take the fall. And let's not forget, he refused to even pay for Shine's legal defense.
You know, with this luggage, walking around with this, and people not understanding, you know, not knowing the truth, you know, and so it felt good that it was finally coming to an end.
Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Shine ended up doing nearly 10 years in prison, and Puff went back to living his best life like nothing happened. And the pattern keeps repeating. Diddy's been cutting off his people and leaving them out to dry whenever it suits him. Now, we've got Big Meech, Diddy, Wolf, and 50 Cent all wrapped up in this web of drama. And at this point, I don't even know who's standing on business and who's just out here snitching. From Big Meech allegedly being Diddy's inside man to Wolf's tragic and suspicious death, it's clear there's way more to this story than we ever knew. The connections run deep, and now that Gene Deal is out here spilling even more receipts, it's looking like Big Meech might have been playing both sides this whole time. And let's not forget how 50 Cent has been calling out both Diddy and Meech. If anyone's got a reason to be mad, it's definitely him. But I gotta ask, do y'all think Big Meech was really Diddy's inside man, helping him take out the competition? Is there any truth to the rumors that Wolf might actually be Justin Combs' real father? And do you think 50 Cent knew all of this when he started the BMF series, or was he really getting played the whole time? I need to hear your thoughts on this one, so drop those comments down below and let me know what y'all think. And while you're at it, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next time this drama pops off.